Alright folks, eyes on me, no noise, whooshed! I used to have a teacher that always said that every time, and if that doesn't get your attention, then what will? Leading into my point for you lovely people today is that tragedy should not be the sole catalyst for change. It would seem as, to me at least, most people only change when they're forced to, when something's gone so wrong they're left with no other option but to change. And to me, that is way too late. Being forced to change when it's so late only means it's got so bad that you've had no choice but to address the issue. But what if you could sort of look ahead and stop it before the tragedy hits you? The truth is, it shouldn't take something bad to happen to you for you to instigate change. There are warning signs in your life and in your mind that you really must listen to, and they're uncomfortable truths usually, and it normally involves stuff you've been putting off. But one day when that tragedy hits and you're forced to change, it'll be a lot worse than if you could have addressed it beforehand. It takes a lot of self-honesty and difficult questions and introspection. You really need to take an honest look at yourself and establish if there's anything you're suppressing, like desires and anything that you wish you could do, or you know it's something that you should be doing and you're ignoring it and neglecting it. Because things, if you're really passionate and interested in something and you suppress it, it will come out one day. It may take years, but it will come out one day. You cannot ignore your true burning passions. The best way I can describe it is with a metaphor that I've come up with, so stick with me. Think of it as a shelf on a wall. You know those sort of shelves, a bookshelf, but not a cabinet like there, that one over there, just a single shelf that goes on a wall that's like on two mounts just for books. That is rammed, it's got stuff on it that's way too heavy for it. You sort of know, well, that probably is heavy for the shelf, but it's sort of staying like this and it's happy, so you ignore it and you think, it's fine. You just keep ignoring it, weeks go by, it seems alright, but you know in your heart it's a bit heavy for that shelf. One day one of the brackets starts to go like this and you think, is that going to hold? And you ignore it again and it's still super heavy. But what do? You just keep ignoring it, and one day the whole thing crashes down and it takes so much with it. But imagine if you'd addressed the problem earlier and thought, yes, I'll take a few books off, I'll take the bag of cement off, and you could have slowly addressed that, but you'd have to deal with it at the time, and that's never normally appealing. But when you are forced to change and things have crashed down and tragedy is hit, it's always you're starting from the lowest point, the weaker point, to build everything up again. You're starting at the most extreme low, and that's always going to be harder to get back from. And it also means something quite bad has happened to you. If it's just a bookshelf, that's not too bad, but some people do it with their health, their happiness, careers, everything, and it will hit hard the longer you leave that shelf over full and just ready to collapse at any minute. I just think the real thing to take away from this is just to have a real honest look at where you're headed, and are you happy with it, and are there things you're ignoring that you should really address before something bad happens. I've been in there in my head and it's not a pleasant place, but not just being inside my head isn't that pleasant, but the thoughts you have to go down a dark route, but it's worth it, because if you don't get the answers now, they're going to come out one day, either when something bad's happened or just many years down the line, and you'll have less time to deal with it because it will be more extreme. So I urge you to go soul digging, get out the spade and dig to your depths and find the answers, and they'll hurt, but the truth is there, and the truth, you can push the truth out, but the truth will eventually catch up with you and it will hurt a lot more. That's a happy note. Ding ding ding, they're happy notes. Deedle. I'm giving people negativity, but actually it's wrapped up in positivity. But anyway, go soul search. This was supposed to be a serious video.